At this time, I'm going to introduce our next speaker who, from my understanding, has spoken to many groups in her area already, and we're just excited about being able to have her today with us. I think you're all going to find out a lot of information. Our presenter is Kim Lopez. She's a lieutenant in the Triad Community Services for the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office, which is in Oklahoma, as opposed to my Cleveland. Kim wanted to be a deputy sheriff since she was 6 years old. She started her law enforcement career in 1984 in Cleveland County and served as the first full-time officer assigned to crimes that were victimizing elderly. She authored the curricula for the CLEAT, which is the Council on Law Enforcement Education and Training. During Police Academy, Kim served as the only female squad leader. In 1998, Kim received a governor's commendation from former Governor Frank Keating for her dedication as the Cleveland County Triad Coordinator. In 2008, Kim acquired her Advanced Law Enforcement Instructor certification and has instructed for Departments of Justice and the National Sheriff's Association. Today, Lieutenant Lopez is assigned to a specialized unit out of the Community Services Division with the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office called Triad, concentrating endeavors on prevention-based programming for the senior adult community. Lieutenant Lopez spent 7 years reaching 19 communities within Oklahoma with key core community groups called SALT, Seniors and Law Enforcement Together, encompassing 17 police departments in Oklahoma. In 2019, Kim was recipient of Oklahoma's statewide Heartland Law Enforcement Award for 2019 for her efforts to Narcan train over 500 seniors with opiate overdose prevention. During COVID, Kim was recognized by News 9 for her efforts to hand out over 4,000 free washable handmade face masks made by her senior volunteers. This 60-year-old has enjoyed her 34 years career, which began in Cleveland County, and she is grateful to announce that she has finally come home to the community she loves. Kim is married to Greg, her 9th grade crush, and has 3 children. Kim's favorite quote, "People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care." She's going to be talking to us today about safety. So, Kim, if you want to take over and educate us.
All right. Well, first of all, I am just absolutely honored. And I think there's few people that can say they got to address people in 3 different countries at the same time. But first, I would like to introduce my sheriff to you. Without a leader in your community and law enforcement to bring Triad to its people lack for prevention-based strategies. So at this time, I'm very honored to introduce my sheriff, Sheriff Chris Amison of Cleveland County.
Thank you, Kim, and hello, everyone. Thank you for allowing us to come and speak today and give us this opportunity. Kim and I are excited to be a part of this. And, you know, as a sheriff and a law enforcement leader, I want to encourage people to use the information that Triad provides and use the tools to prevent elderly of being victims of crime and being able to identify a lot of these things that they get trapped in before they happen. So, you know, if you're in an area that does not have Triad or you would like to see Triad come, contact your sheriff, your local police chief, and tell them that you want it there. And if they haven't heard about it or if they need more information,
Then you call me.
Yes, then call me and then I'll give them to Kim, or they can call Kim directly. She's my expert. But we're excited to partner with anyone that wants to get this program going. I am 100% sold on it and behind it. Anything that we can do to protect our seniors and the vulnerable in our community, that's what I'm all about. So again, thank you for this opportunity. I'm going to turn it over to the expert Kim here, and she's the one with all the knowledge. But again, thank you for letting us come on today.
Sheriff, thank you so much for being able to address this group. I'm absolutely honored to be here. So as we start talking about crimes that victimize, we have to stop and think that we can all be victimized. So violent crime occurs every 22.8 seconds in the United States. When I wrote this, and I'm still writing it, it's only taken me 35 years, but I add to it all the time. When I write this curricula, it is written for people who cannot protect themselves, but it is good for all ages. So share this information with, your grandkids that are just, driving, college age kids, high school kids. Literally, it is good, sound information on so many different ways not to be targeted. When we very first start talking about this, I have to go in and again, talk about what Triad is. So Triad was brought to the National Sheriff's Association by my good friend, Sheriff Charles Fuselier, and my late good friend, in St. Martinsville Parish, Louisiana. And what he started noticing was that if he wanted to know what was going on in his area, he would go into the little church and talk to the little ladies and say, hey, over here in this side of the parish, we've had a lot of car burglaries. And sure enough, some little lady would go, yep, that's a gray van. And it comes through about every day, about this time when my soap opera is over, would you like the tag number? They had a very healthy sense of community and would report that crime. Here's what he learned, though, that was heartbreaking and so true across our nation and our world. Seniors have a very high regard and respect for law enforcement, to the point that when they are victimized, they don't report it. So they don't want to take a gun off the street that could be chasing a baby rapist to file a report because someone came in and stole their microwave. So basically what we had to do in 1988 was open up a door, a line of communication to have a better rapport between law enforcement and our senior adult community. Most sheriffs across the nation looked at this and said, wait, we don't have any of this going on. Well, you can't count what isn't reported. So it was kind of a tough sell to some of the leaders. But when people started looking and started really going out and meeting their seniors, they found it was very true. So the name Triad was meant to make us think of a triangle. So the sheriff oversees it for the entire county or parish so that no senior is left out. My crime here is much different in South County than the wealthier part of the city of Norman on the west side of town. Much different crime concerns. So in order to meet the needs of those in the farmhouses in South Cleveland County who can't see the next farmhouse because there's no lighting, we can get together with them in key core community groups called SALT, Seniors and Law Enforcement Together. Now, again, when you speak about this and you learn about this, I still have to say, any seniors out there that are watching this, anybody out there watching this, go to your sheriffs. If anything about this is something you want to see deployed in your hometown for the people you love and care about in your neighbors, go to your leaders in law enforcement and have them contact me, and I will give them everything that I have. I literally can email them some of the forms that are life-saving, and they can put their name on it, their patch, their badge, and go out and assist their communities. So now that you know what Triad is, now that you know what SALT is, and we do many different crime prevention programs, not just the one you're going to see today about safe shopping. We have so many other programs. We have what seniors should do if they're, in an active shooter situation. We have some amazing drivers safety programs for seniors. AAA has an amazing program that will actually certify law enforcement to car fit seniors in their cars to where they are far less likely to have some pretty horrific injuries, even just in very, very tiny fender benders. We also buy Christmas for 700 kids that are being raised by their grandparents and wouldn't normally get Christmas. So we have a great many other programs. So why are seniors targeted? They're targeted because of the nest eggs. Crooks think they are sitting on this big, huge, nest egg of money. And the other thing is that crooks don't think that you will defend yourself. They've done this before. They know the most common human response is, oh my God, don't hurt me, don't hurt me. Take my wedding ring, take my watch. Just don't hurt me, don't hurt me. Crooks believe that you're more trusting and will fall for anything. So I ask you, do you have a plan? What would you do if today you walked out of a building and someone came up and convinced you that they are willing to harm you to get what you have on your person? Because most seniors don't. So even if those of you are brave enough to say, yes, I have a plan, how many of you have the tools to carry it out? So first and foremost, I want to lay that foundation. You got to have a plan and you got to have the tools to carry it out. When we talk about safe shopping, you really need to have your method of payment. That before you leave the house. It's a subconscious decision. You're going to go get some cat litter and some Cheerios, and subconsciously, how you're going to pay your method of payment. The things that we don't think about are some of the things I'm going to bring up to you today. Whether to get a shopping cart and some other things that we'll talk about. But how many of you always get a shopping cart even for one item? And I'd be real surprised if one person raised their hand. You must always, always get in the habit of getting a shopping cart. It is a very key tool in whether even someone can get your information off your credit card. I know that's hard to believe, but it's really true. Hot spots that I want to talk about today are the parking lots and the register stalls. Those really are hot spots. So asking yourself, do you have a plan? What actions are you going to take if someone approached you? And most people say, I'm going to scream bloody murder. Well, that's great until you get that adrenaline dump and then you can't scream. I've worked as a special victims advocate and I'm here to tell you, you cannot scream. You'll suck air. You'll suck air, but you cannot scream. So we're going to talk about some of the things. So the most common human response is what really looks like cowarding. Oh my gosh, don't hurt me, don't hurt me. Here, take my ring, take my watch. You can have my things I just shopped for. So I want to start out by congratulations. Today you're going to get a plan. I always say, everybody raise your right hand. Come on, Rich, raise your right hand. Okay, now reach up and pat yourself on the back, because today you are going to get, come on, Rich, let's do it. There you go, buddy. Reach around and pat yourself on the back, because today you will get a plan and you will know the tools to carry it out. So you all have homework. I'm going to give you a list of things, and you'll get my handout after my presentation of things that you need to go by to help protect yourself. So for years, and I've watched this, well-intending peace officers and myself started out by saying, walk with confidence and be aware of your surroundings. But that's not enough information. There's, 90-year-old friends that I have that don't walk with a whole lot of confidence until they, got this information. So we're going to talk about how to walk with confidence and how to be aware of your surroundings. Your body language is going to be different. It's going to change when you are confident that you have a plan and the tools to carry it out. One thing I've noticed in my 34-year, almost 35-year career is that career criminals watch body language just as much as peace officers. So they know when you feel comfortable and when you don't. So as we age, and I'm 60 years old, I didn't really believe, I didn't believe it. I thought I was so young when I studied this that it wasn't ever going to happen to me, and it did. We atrophy in our neck. And I started seeing it about 54 years old. And I'd be sitting at a stoplight in my patrol car and I'd turn and I'd go, man, I really have, you know. So has anybody heard that term, check your six? Raise your hands. Medical term, Mark knows. So it's like a clock. So if 12 o'clock's right in front of you, where's 6 o'clock? Right behind you. So if you are atrophied in your neck, it's very, very difficult to turn around and see behind you. So we have these stickers at the sheriff's office, and they're round stickers, really kind of cute. They're junior deputy sheriff stickers that we give kids, but seniors love them. And I give them to them as a part of an exercise that they have taken on. And I have had more seniors tell me, wow, I finally regained the, you know, sense of motion in my neck, but I keep doing this and I've kept it. So not only will you achieve range of motion in your neck, if you keep doing this, you will maintain that range of motion in your neck. So get a focal point, whether it's a sticker on the wall. When you go home tonight, some of you are in your homes, most of you are, put a focal point right behind your happy spot. What's your happy spot? That requires a recliner and some good sweet tea, all right? And your remotes, and probably a kitty cat or a dog. In my house, it's a little dog. But so when you get in your happy spot, put a focal point behind you. I always say knees down range, hips down range, shoulders down range. Don't move your shoulders, and turn around just your head and see if you can see that sticker on the wall behind you, or that focal point. Doing this, move your bottom to the very tip front of your chair, but starting to do this every time you turn the TV on, every time you change the channel, and every time a commercial. Come on now, you don't need to watch them commercials. You got homework to do during the commercials now. This really works to maintain so that you can check your six. So criminals understand something that you may not have ever heard, and that's called the adrenaline rush. First thing out of their arsenal works every time to their advantage and your disadvantage. So seniors don't walk up to a sweet little lady in a parking lot and say, you look like my Aunt Martha. Anyway, you'd allow me to borrow your keys, your car. They come up and they go, get your keys. They just pop out of nowhere. They mean to startle, to get that adrenaline hormone in your bloodstream, because everything in your hands is going to end up where? On the pavement. And they know this. They've done this. They know the most common human response. And once you get startled like that, and your heart, you know, jumps through your throat, your thoughts will be derailed. So know that the first thing out of their arsenal is to startle you. If you believed me, then every time you left the doctor's office, the senior center, you know, or the grocery store, you would be looking around thinking, okay, where's the person that wants to scare me, you know, half out of my wits? So again, criminals expect you to cower, even just having a plan, because they expect you to act a certain way. Just having a plan sometimes causes, and I've known about it, that they'll just run off because they don't know what to do with you. You're not acting like they think you normally would act. There are two most common things that a career criminal are going to demand from you. One is your keys, and the other is your valuables, your purse, your wallet, your watch, your shopping bags that you just, came out of an expensive store with. But keep that in mind. Now, you need to prepare before you shop. And I've got an item here, and I'm going to hold it up. Did everybody see it? Pretty easy to know what that is, right? Who would know that 2 $1 bills in a metal money clip can save your life? 2 $1 bills in a metal money clip is a must. I learned about a lady a little over a year ago who was walking around a park in Oklahoma City, and a guy literally ran up, tackled her, pushed her to the ground, and broke her hip for $6.12 that she had on her. And I thought, how sad. If she would have had 2 $1 bills in a metal money clip, again, a plan and the tools to carry it out, she would probably be okay today. So 2 $1 bills can help save your life. I call this bait money. So 2 $1 bills, okay, put the president's faces together. fold it in half, make it look like a lot more money, kind of fan it out. And then if you've got an old money clip, great. If not, handy dandy office binder right there works really well. So this adds weight. So you keep this in your pocket, and if someone comes up and says, give me your wallet or give me your purse, you show it and throw it. This draws the attacker away from you so that you can go and get help. So the other thing is give me your keys. Now, let's marinate right there for just a moment. And we'll talk about parking lots. The reason why, and we all know that parking lots are dangerous. Most seniors will tell you that, but they really don't know why. So let me just give you the skinny on why career criminals tell me the first place they head is a parking lot. When the drug deal goes bad, when the fight is on, when police get called, when the home burglary is interrupted, and they're on foot, the first place they're going to go is to a parking lot. And here's why. They want to get out of the area. So if they're in a very small town in whatever state they're in, they want to go to a larger city. If they're in a larger city, they want to get to a small town, but they know that if they can cross many jurisdictions in a wide variety of cars, changing cars often, it's impossible, literally impossible for law enforcement to catch them. So when you think about leaving where you are right now and getting in your car, you can't drive 10 minutes without crossing jurisdictions. A lot of seniors aren't aware that you have municipal jurisdictions, you have county jurisdictions, and then you have, like, on the major thoroughfares, you have your highway patrol. So, and there could be others. So career criminals know if they can just drive a short time, ditch that car and get another one, it's literally hard, almost impossible for us to catch them. So that's one of the reasons why parking lots are so dangerous. If you think of it like this, it takes a very spry person to get out of their car in a parking lot, say Walmart or wherever, and go, you know what? That's weird. This van was there 4 days ago. It doesn't look like it's moved. So that makes 24-hour parking lots even more dangerous. Excuse me. So if they, go to a quick, fast food restaurant and they scare somebody out of their keys and steal a truck, they're only going to drive it maybe 10 minutes, excuse me, and then leave it in a parking lot, ditch it, and get another vehicle, excuse me. So the parking lots that are dangerous, all of them. The next one that is more dangerous is the one that you feel comfortable in. You've been to that senior center for 20 years, nothing's ever happened, right? So you feel comfortable. Your church parking lot. That one is very, very dangerous because most seniors' body language isn't very open to look around. The next one is 24-hour parking lots because career criminals know they can ditch a stolen vehicle there, and it's going to take 5 to 7 days for someone who's on their game to go, wait a minute, that vehicle's been here for, the last 4 days. The next one might surprise you. And I didn't learn this in cop school, police academy. I learned it from the professionals. I learned it by going into the jails once a criminal is convicted and saying, look, you don't have to talk to me, but I'm here to keep your grandparents safe. Why did you steal that purse? Why, here, what's going on about this? And they quickly told me, one of the easiest ways to get out of an area is to ask for a ride to the hospital. Oklahoma is in the heartland. And I am just sad to say that my seniors have told me, man, I would have never given a hitchhiker a ride, but I was in my church parking lot getting ready to back out. And this guy said, look, I'll give you $10. It's all the money I have. My truck's over there and it won't start. And my wife's having a baby. I'll pay for your gas. Could you just take me to Baptist Hospital? And sure enough, a sad story pulls at the heartstrings of our senior adults. So getting to a hospital is key here, because once they get to that hospital, and this is the number one most dangerous parking lot, is your hospital parking lot. Hospitals are open 24 hours. And if you've ever sat and looked at a door at a hospital, and I've done this for a while, people that walk out of a hospital are zoned completely out. They have slept in a chair in a loved one's room for 3 nights. They haven't showered in 4 days. They've eaten out of a vending machine. They are careworn. They are concerned, and they are not paying attention when they walk out of that building and through that parking lot. And career criminals told me this. So again, all parking lots are dangerous. The one you feel the most comfortable in, that's dangerous. Then your 24-hour parking lots, and then your hospital parking lots. So, and you can be in a new city, never having been to, you know, wherever, Missouri, let's say. You're driving down the interstate, it's going to tell you, the signs are going to tell you hospital next to exit. So pretty easy to know where the parking, where the hospitals are, even if you're not from there. So now that you know which parking lots are the most dangerous, all of them are, let's talk about what to have with you. So you're all going to have homework. One of the things, once you get your bait money together, okay, get your bait money, keep this in your pocket, show it and throw it when they demand your wallet or your goods. Another thing is how you're carrying your stuff. I was shocked to have career criminals tell me which purses they look for. I had actually been one of those peace officers who told people, you know, wear a crossbody purse, it frees up your hands, you can run, you can open doors, you can, you know, you can fight, whatever. Not a good plan. Career criminals love crossbody purses. You need to quit carrying crossbody purses. When you think about it, it puts a handle on the back of you and a handle on the front of you. When I speak as a special victims advocate to people that have been accosted, and I see someone who, I encounter someone who never saw their assailant's face, that is one of the things that I ask on second interview is, were you by any chance carrying a crossbody purse? And they go, oh my gosh, you've seen video, you found who did this to me. And I go, no, that's one of the things. So they can pull you out of the side of the line of vision. They can pull you into vehicles around corners. Crossbody purses simply are not good to carry. The other thing is, and they call this a gimme. Career criminals love 2-strap purses. When you put a 2-strap purse on your shoulder, speaking to the women right now, one of the straps always falls off. That's a gimme. They know they've got that purse. So that right there could set you up for a target. So I like to say 1-strap purse across your shoulder, tucked under your arm tightly, or in the bend of your arm. But don't carry valuables there. If you want to carry, you know, pictures of your grandkids, lipstick, I get it. But what you really should do, and anybody who's ever traveled abroad knows this, you need to get a travel document wallet or a lanyard wallet to wear around your neck. They hide them in the department stores over by the luggage. So don't go by the purses, but these travel document wallets can be worn under your clothing. You can make the strap as short. I know people with pacemakers need those much longer. They can almost tuck them in their pants. But this is a really good thing. If you can find one that is large enough to put your cell phone in, that's even better. So tear out a couple of your checks, use your, put a couple of your checks. Don't ever carry your entire checkbook. So tear out a couple of checks, put it with your folded money, credit card, debit card, put that in your lanyard wallet with your ID. Most of them, the good ones, have a little zipper spot so you can put coin, and your credit card, debit card, and ID don't fall out. The other thing that I want you to be aware of and get is a carabiner. The name comes from the inventor of this wonderful latch device that is an amazing crime prevention tool. not only can you add to this the things that I'm going to tell you to go and get, you can also use this to secure a lady's purse to the shopping cart. I see way too many ladies in the store that, and I used to do this too. You put your handbag in the shopping cart, you take the little baby seatbelt, and you think it's in there for good, and it's not. I've learned about a new way that career criminals are getting wallets and purses out of shopping carts. Excuse me. So, good carabiner. I like this one, AAA. If you're a AAA member, ask them about, tell them I sent you the good AAA carabiner. It also has a wonderful place to put your keys. We're going to talk about that next. So, here's your car keys, your regular set of car keys, good carabiner. Find a way, get you a wrist lanyard. So your wrist lanyard keeps your good keys on your wrist. So if someone startles you and you drop everything, you've still got your good keys right here. I have ladies that have literally taken yarn and just braided it into a loop to fit their good keys as to serve as a good wrist lanyard. That on your list. Then you need to fashion a set of bait keys. Everybody say bait keys. These are wonderful. This is what you show and throw if someone demands your car keys because they want to get out of the area. They're watching someone who comes out, they've got their keys in their hand, just show them and throw them. If you can find, and I suggest going to your church or your son's business and ask where the lost and found keys are. If you can get one of these key fobs, this one doesn't work. It was dropped in the water, doesn't even have any batteries. It did work, but that really makes your bait keys look very real. This is kind of a promise to whoever picks these up that they can go around and find the car that these belong to. So show them and throw them. So get your carabiner, put on your good keys. You now have a way to attach your bait keys to your lanyard or to your carabiner and your lanyard. So the other thing that I absolutely is an absolute must is this little gig right here. A good metal whistle is an international sound of defense. When you can't scream, you can make a loud noise. You can get some attention from clear across the parking lot by blowing a whistle. You can go in any country in the world and blow a whistle, and people are going to look to see why. It gets people's attention. It's loud. It is a sound of distress. So I don't leave the house without a good metal whistle. I think Mark's writing that down. Good deal, Mark. All right. So good you are. All right. So good metal whistle. Keep that on your carabiner with your keys, your bait keys, and your wrist lanyard. There's your recipe. All right. So again, they're not going to say, hey, may I borrow your keys? They're going to demand something from you, scare you, and everything ends up on the sidewalk or the parking lot. So be ready to show them and throw them. Your bait keys, get those unhooked from your regular set of keys every time you leave the doctor's office, any kind of building, church, doesn't matter, get those ready. Now, we're going to talk a minute about fanny packs. I love me some fanny packs, but I don't like it when I see people wearing fanny packs as belly bags. Fanny packs are meant to wear in the small of your back, covered up by another layer of clothing and that strap tucked in your waistband. Then that's a good fanny pack. So they should not be seen. Fanny packs aren't pretty. They're not supposed to be worn as belly bags. So again, purse snatchers paradise or crossbody purses and two-strap purses. Gentlemen, I just love it when I am able to go to like a church and I can ask this question and every head bowed, every eye closed. How many of you men have your wallet in your back pocket? And they'll raise their hand momentarily. but most senior adult men are in the habit of carrying their wallet in their back pocket. First of all, this is really bad on your back, but now I know why it is so dangerous. So this is an X-Acto knife. Any hardware store, I bought this one at Dollar General for $1. And these are very easy to conceal. And this is what they're getting your wallets with. So career criminals tell me the older the guy, the fatter the wallet. And it's true. Senior adult men carry a lot of cash. When they go to the register to pay for something, they take out all of that money to find a $10 bill. So new plan today. All right. The other thing I'm told about the people who carry these and steal wallets from senior men is that they watch as senior adult men get out of the car or the truck, because seniors will, as a habit, it's again a subconscious decision, they will telegraph where their stuff is. So they'll reach back there, make sure they got their wallet, reach down here, make sure they got their keys, reach over here, make sure they got their cell phone, reach over here, make sure they got their glasses. So these career criminals will watch in a parking lot and go, yep, his wallet's in his back pocket. Then they just follow you around, the hardware store until, they can get close enough to you to slice your trousers right under your wallet in your pocket, and then just follow you until your wallet falls out. I mean, it couldn't be any easier, right? It would shock you how many seniors in my SALT council have called me and said, Kim, I've lost my wallet. Okay, well, where were you the last time that you saw it? Well, I was, in the grocery store. Okay, all right. So do me a favor. Put your hand back there in your pocket that you had your wallet in and tell me if there's a big hole in it. And they're just like, oh my gosh, you have ESPN. I mean, heck, you're reading my mind, like what? And that's how they're doing it. So be well aware of that. So gentlemen, men, older men, a lot of them will wear a t-shirt underneath their, even in the summertime, they're just used to wearing a t-shirt with a light shirt. Get the ones with the pockets. Ladies, learn this from the men. A good tight-fitting V-neck t-shirt is a wonderful crime prevention tool. You can put your couple of checks, your cash, your debit and credit card in a little coin purse and keep this in a pocket of a tight-fitting pocket t-shirt. So this is also used to cut the baby seat belt in shopping carts. So women who put their purse in the shopping cart and click that little seat belt are 9 times more likely to turn around, because that's a false sense of security. Y'all learning anything? You look smarter already. All right. So, gentlemen, front pocket tee, inside jacket pocket, or your front pocket for your wallets. Now that we know what purse to wear, speaking more specifically about going shopping, never, ever, ever go in without getting a shopping cart. I don't care if you're going after 1 box of Kleenex. You'll need this when you get to the register. Also, never, ever, ever get your method of payment out at the register. And I see this all the time. Go over by the unmentionables. Listen to me. Nobody hangs around the, Tampax and Kotex and has a conversation. We get those, we put them in the cart, and we move on. Okay. So when I say go by the unmentionables, now you know what I'm talking about. Yes. All those unpleasant things. Nobody hangs around the girdles. Okay. Go there, when you're done shopping, get your method of payment out. That's when you turn that fanny pack around, get in it, get your method of payment out. Those of you who are still writing checks, and I hope you find another way, but there are seniors who still insist on writing checks for groceries and Walmart and Target trips. That's where you get your check out. You go ahead and sign it. You know today's date, and you know what store you're in. Fill out as much of it as you can. Never, ever, ever allow the clerk to take your check from you, encrypt it in the machine, send it back to you across the table for your signature, and you give it back to them. This has your check doing this. So people standing behind you can take pictures with their cell phone even when they don't look like they're not even looking at you, their little earbuds in, they're young, they're talking to somebody else, but they're taking pictures that it's like not just a picture, but like rapid shot. You know how when you press the button on your phone and you didn't mean to take 60 pictures, you only meant to take one. That's what they do. They just turn the volume off so that you can't hear it. So always go to the unmentionables to get your method of payment out. This is the place where you take any targets off of you. See my beautiful engagement ring? Turn any stones around. Now, all I have is a simple band. That's when you turn all of your rings around. Gentlemen with expensive watches, great. Take it off, put it in your pocket, or pull your sleeve over it. Those little terry cloth sweatbands are great to put over watches and diamond tennis bracelets. Write that down. It's not on my notes. Come on, Mark, write it down. I see you. All right. So go to the unmentionables, turn your rings around, get your method of payment out. If you're going to write a check, you need to start writing it there. Speaking of writing checks, okay, this is where my North Carolina draw comes out when I say get you some jail pens. You can get these in any store, basically. You could even get them at the grocery store, but jail pens. See that right there? G-E-A-L, jail. That's what you want. That was funny. Mark laughed. Okay, so get you some jail pens. If you're going to write a check, you need to write it with a jail pen. It's called check washing in law enforcement. And if you've ever watched Catch Me If You Can, that guy lives in Tulsa and I've actually visited with him. And check washing is a real deal. So Q-Tex, nail polish remover, they can float that check in there. It's pretty easy to get your check when career criminals are hiring clerks at stores to keep your check. So think about it. You go to Walmart and you write a check and they say, oh, honey, I'll fill out your check. All you have to do is sign it. So you tear out your check, you give it to her, she encrypts it, gives it back, you sign it, and you give it back. So your check's doing this. But what if you're in a store? Because in Walmart, you get your check back, right? Go like this as part of your receipt. But in other places, you don't know if they're on that system to take your money out right then and give you your check as part of your receipt. You'll not know that. So they're selling them out the back door to career criminals who are paying the clerks to do this. You won't know it until that check clears the bank if they've washed it, and banks don't check signatures anymore. So they cannot take your stuff off your check if you use a jail pen. Everybody say jail pen. Come on, Judy, you know this one. Okay, so get you a jail pen, put it in your lanyard wallet, again, inside underneath your clothing. Now, write this down. It is on my handout, but go to YouTube and watch iPhone Pen Hack. There is a video on there that teaches you about how they're getting so many of your personal identification numbers. So long ago, there was a company that made a camera that is heat sensitive. So, and I can remember one time my grandma in North Carolina said there was something in her attic and they called out this exterminator and he put this big, huge camera up in her attic and said, yep, you know, you got a critter and he, you know, run along that wall, but his nest is definitely right over here because they could see the heat that it was. So now a company by the name of FLIR, I'm sure you computer people know about that, has come out with a heat sensitive camera that literally fits on the back of an Apple phone. So when you go up, always, 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 always pull your shopping cart. Don't ever push your shopping cart. Always get a shopping cart, load it from the front. Again, you know, go by the unmentionables to turn your rings around, get your method of payment out, but never push your shopping cart through. This adds distance between you at the point of pay and the person behind you. This will help so that they can't take pictures of your credit card you're using. Always run your credit card as a debit card. And if you want to get cash back, I always say, just go by the bank, just run through the ATM and get your cash out and drive off. But if you want to get cash back from a purchase, you're going to have to depress your PIN number to get it off of your debit card. So that's where 2 minutes after you walk away, they can get a picture with that new device. And I can go to Oklahoma City right now to the Apple store in Penn Square Mall, pay $200, buy that tiny camera that goes on the back of my Apple phone, and I can pick up the heat signature is what it's called, and see who the person next to me, what their PIN number was. So what's happening is they are taking pictures, getting those PIN numbers. They're watching where you put your debit card that you used, following you home. And before you can get loaded in an ambulance, they've gone to your bank. They have your card, they have your PIN number, and they can, if you don't have certain, precautions set up with the bank, they can move your money from savings to checking and take out, if you don't have any limits, everything that you have. So do not touch those keys to add your PIN. Run your debit card as a credit card. If you want cash, run through your bank. If you do have to press them and you want cash back, use your jail PIN. Use your card key, use your thumbnail, use the stylus that's there to hit those numbers. Okay. Now go watch that video again, iPhone PIN hack. It is on my handout and it is on YouTube. Then that technology that can get your PIN number from the heat sensitive camera where you've depressed your PIN also works on door openers. So be very careful about your garage door opener outside. I have a Genie garage door opener. I flip the little, cover, I enter a code and my garage door goes up. Got to be very careful with those because you want to either take your 3 fingers and warm all of the digits that you press, warm all of the numbers. So if you're in line at the grocery store, you pay with your debit card and you want to get some cash back, and you forget and touch the buttons because we're in the habit of doing that. Use your 3 fingers, touch all of the numbers before you walk away. This will destroy the heat sensitive signature. I know that I talked to a group of people that own some very, very expensive senior adult living centers. They had a national meeting in Oklahoma City, and they were not real happy with me when I said these right here, the doors that they have on a lot of these senior centers. I know that you have that set. So if you had a disgruntled employee, you could just change the code, but they can still get in, and this is how they're doing it. So they were not real happy with me. But that's the truth. Those can be used on anything. Now listen, that has a plastic keypad. I know my bank does not have plastic keypads at my ATM. So those I do push the buttons to get cash back at my ATM. So metal keys, this technology will not work. In closing, pull your shopping cart, provide several feet of space between you and anyone wanting your financial information. Remember, they can video or take pictures of you without you really knowing it. Ready your bait keys and your bait money before you leave any building to walk out into a parking lot. And remember that when you're walking out, doctor's office doesn't matter, and the cars are here, and you have your handbag or valuables on this side, they can just roll down the window and drag you along. So put your valuables on this side or change, walk. So this is my gun hand, and I never have a purse over here. I never have anything in this hand. I mean, I will overload. That's why my hip's so bad. My hip will be 74 next week, by the way. That was funny. You didn't even laugh, Mark. There, he's laughing. Okay, cool. That wasn't even a courtesy laugh, Mark. All right. So yeah, either switch or, change, walk to the other side so that someone doesn't roll the window down, grab your handbag and drag you. And it's happened. So always have your cell phone on you. Always have it on. I get so, this is one of my worst pet peeves. I'm sorry, but seniors who have a phone and leave it in the car, they used to call it a car phone. seniors who have a phone and they don't turn it on until they're ready to make a phone call. This is dangerous. People don't do this. You need to have your cell phone on so that in a 911 emergency, when seconds count, your phone doesn't have to do the whole process to find a tower, check all of the stuff inside of it before it tells you it's okay to dial 911. So have your cell phone ready. And remember, if you're approached, here's the deal. Don't let anyone get close to you. If someone's, watch, and you'll learn now that if you do these exercises, it's a lot easier when you've been doing this all evening. After a couple of weeks, you're going to get a lot more range of motion. You're going to be able to see directly behind you, and you'll start walking like this. They don't want to approach you if you know what's going on. People always ask me, should I look them in the eyes? Absolutely. Look them in the eyes. Don't let them get close. Hey, stop. Don't come any closer. Stop. What do you want? I'm buying what you're selling. I got 911 on the phone. Yeah, I'm in the Walmart parking lot, 23rd Meridian. Get here quick. Guy's got a green, and start saying it. I'm looking at a green sweatshirt. I'm looking at jeans. He's got black cowboy boots on. He's got a red ball cap. He's, his tattoos aren't spelled correctly. Whatever, things that stay, like eye color, hair color. All right. Another thing that I want to mention, a couple of things, is dry erase markers. Dry erase markers are wonderful, wonderful crime prevention tools. I don't go shopping without a dry erase marker in my car, and here's why. If I see a car hit a kid and drive off, I can take a tag number, write it right on my window with my dry erase marker, wipes right off with the Kleenex. So if you're looking at someone and you think, man, something don't look right, and then you see him do something to somebody that's, either a crime or suspicious of a crime, just start jotting down their description about how tall are they, what kind of clothes, which direction to travel. You can do tag numbers, you can do locations. If you're driving along and something happens at mile marker 449, write that down, because when you call in, they're going to ask you. Then you can wipe it off with a Kleenex. So don't ruin your shopping trip. I like to call it retail therapy for seniors. With someone, with you not being able to have a marker. One of the other things is get a baby diaper and put it in your car. We are seeing more and more and more tent cities across our United States. There are more people living on sidewalks, more homeless people. And they will break your window for the $2.18 of coin that you right now, all of you have in your cup holder. Right, Mark? Right, Judy? Uh-huh. So take that out, put it in a Velcro. Baby diapers are Velcro now. Who knew? I mean, my baby will be 23. So they were, that sticky tape that you could never tape back. So Velcro baby diapers, buy a pack of them, even the preemie size. Share them with your friends, put your coin in that. Nobody's going to break your window for a loaded baby diaper. All right. So one of the other things that I wanted to talk about in closing is our Triad refrigerator card. This is printed on yellow cardstock. Judy's shaking her head yes. This will save your life. If you don't have these in your community, get a hold of your chief of police or your sheriff. Share my information. I will send this to them where they can take my logos off and put their information on it. You need one per household member, and it lists your medications. So if you have a stroke and you can't communicate what current medications you're on, they won't give you the blood clotting medication that you need to stop that brain bleed until they know what you're currently taking. So that goes on your refrigerator door. But what if you're out shopping and you feel weird? You go to the bathroom and you wake up and paramedics are there. This does the same thing, but it trifolds. Isn't that beautiful? And fits very nicely in your wallet. I was in Florida in July. We stayed all day long at the beach, had so much fun, drank water all day. But guess what? I got heat exhaustion. And I ended up at the local emergency room. And these paramedics in Florida found this in my wallet. And they were like, where did you get this? We need these. So have your local law enforcement contact me, just a simple email. I will send this to them in a format that they can change up and get to you. All right. So I think we're at the closing. I hope I didn't leave anything out. Please forgive me. I had a PowerPoint and didn't really know how to implement it. I should have got my 5th grader to show me how, right? Right. Judy laughed. Okay. So my last PowerPoint was this picture. And I wanted to close by saying my youngest daughter saw me getting ready for work one day, and she said, "Mommy, are you going to go talk to the seniors about how to stay safe?" And I said, "Absolutely." And she goes, "Oh, Mommy, you have to tell them the safest thing I know." And I said, "What?" And I trust you with this good tip, and I end with this: never, ever, ever fry bacon with your shirt off. Thank you so much for allowing me to come into your homes and your lives, and hopefully you've learned something. I am open to comments, and then there's my, well, you can't really see it, my contact information. So if anyone wants to screenshot this, that's how you get a hold of me. It's also on my handout that I gave to Judy. So fire at will with the questions.
This was the 3rd time I have seen this. It is even more fantastic than the other 2 times. I learned so much more, and I cannot tell you, and I have an email, but how much of your information that I have shared with anybody who will listen. And I have adopted so many of your things after the first presentation you gave to Bill's group. But I have a home, front door that you key in. I took that, and every time I come in, I do like this. And of course the bolt flips out again, but it is worth it to erase everything like that, because my front door is, maybe 30 feet, 40 feet from the sidewalk. I'm
Right.
closer. Wow. And I love the sweatband thing. I took down that note. And you did say your iPhone video link was in your handout?
Yes.
Correct. Okay. But I got a comment here. This is the best presentation APCUG has ever given. Can I call them or not? And here's another one, best webinar ever. But anybody who has ever attended, where can I get this? A conference at Las Vegas via APCUG. We all have these.
I bought some of those when I was at Oklahoma County with our triad logo on them. And those are the best because the biggest cell phone that they make will fit in the back of that.
Yeah.
When you flip it over, it has a place for your gel pen, right?
Oh, of course it does. And I, of course, am telling everybody about gel pens. And if they're not using it, I get on their case. But anyway, John, do you want to open up and see if anybody has any questions? But that is
Hi,
so
John.
thorough. And everybody should do everything that she talks about, because you just should. It all just makes sense.
Well, I've stolen the best information from so many good police officers from one end of the coast to the other. Sorry, John, I think, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I'm sure glad that this has been recorded, because we're going to all watch it again when we send it out. And I'm sure that a number of groups will be using this as a program off of our download from our website to
but don't forget about me.
No, we won't. No, we'll start using you.
Okay.
It'll be a lot easier than for everybody to call you and say, we want you to do a live Zoom one, because you could be every day.
No.
All of our groups.
Here's the deal. How many of your people have sliding glass doors? How many of your people that have sliding glass doors, or people that you know and love, have a broomstick in the track? Take it out. That's how they're getting in.
Uh-oh.
So not only do, for as valuable as safe shopping is, I have how to protect your home, how to protect yourself, how to protect your vehicle. So let's maybe visit how to protect your home.
Oh, absolutely, my dear. No problem with that.
Don't forget about me.
And anyway, I learned that last time. Okay, when you did your stand up at CCOKC, and I went there and I thought, oh shoot, I have dowels. And so what do I tell everybody? Get rid of your dowels, get PVC instead. And they go, why?
Amen.
I
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
because Kim said to.
And the reason?
Well, here's the thing. And I just love to get my rookie deputies, my SRO, school resource officers, and I go, do you know what this is? And I hold up this tool that these career criminals are getting into homes with. And I go, okay, let's say, you're the, pardon me, turd that wants to break into houses. Where are you going to go? And they go, simple, West Side. That's where all the money is. And I go, no, think about what you can fence. Fencing is having lists of buyers for certain things. Career criminals who burglarize homes for a living have a list of people that will buy electronics right off the bat. They have a list of people that will buy guns and ammunition right off the bat. They have a list of people that will buy anything, any pill. They don't care if it's a laxative, if it is in a prescription bottle. So who among our, vast population has guns and ammunitions, jewelry, okay? A 90-year-old woman has a whole lot more years than me to pick up, to collect anniversary diamonds. And seniors are 9 times more likely to have medications and opioids in their home. So now I've convinced this young new deputy that, these people go into senior adult homes, but how they're getting in has plagued us for a long time. And I am just so thankful that I met a guy who was a former Marine, and he says, you know how every good neighborhood has that one guy who doesn't have anything else better to do than go to garage sales and buy bikes and piece together bicycles and give them to kids in the neighborhood? And I go, yeah, my first bike came from such a guy in Oklahoma City when I was a young girl. And he said, well, yeah, they brought me to this triad training because, one of the kids came back and said that there was a guy in his neighborhood that said, look, you know where the seniors live. Let me show you how to break into these houses. Cops won't catch you. They'll never catch you because you're not going to touch anything and you're not going to take anything. They take a spoke from the bicycle and they teach them how to get in. So perhaps one day we can visit how best to protect your home. And there's some amazing products. We now have I just bought one. It's in there on my desk, and all my detectives are like, look, they want to touch it, but they're not sure why I have it. But it's called, it's a fake TV. And it's just this little bitty thing, plugs into the wall. They're not very much money. And, if you point at a window and someone drives by, they're going to swear someone's watching TV. It just casts all these wonderful lights. And it really looks like someone's watching TV at 4 o'clock in the morning. So seniors are buying these. They've got these great big houses, their spouses died, their kids have moved away. They don't ever go upstairs anymore, but they've got those pointed at the windows and it looks like someone's home even when they're away on a cruise. There's now a wonderful alarm system that it's a barking dog alarm, and it's microwaved. So you set it by your front door and it will, track through wallboard, concrete, everything but metal. So when someone walks up to your door, when they get to several feet from your door before they can ever ring your doorbell, look inside or whatever, this dog is just like, wah, 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 and it sounds like a man-eating dog. And that has deterred some criminals. Now we've got video of that it works. So perhaps one day we could visit home, how to protect your home.
That would be absolutely outstanding. As we go on through the year, I'll send you dates. You just let me know when you're available.
Okay.
Then that works for me. Does anybody have any questions of Kim? Because she's at work and she probably has work things that she needs to do.
I would really like to field questions if we can add a little more time to this.
Yeah. Well, I'd say, you kind of skipped over mine. Somebody else posted. What about those dowel rods did you say don't use?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's usually broomsticks that people have in sliding glass doors.
right?
Now, if you're going to use a dowel rod in a window, that's good if you have a way to get out, if you have a fire.
Oh,
I've used them in my daughter's windows, but what they're supposed to do is take the dowel rod, bash the window, push out the screen, and get out if there's an intruder or fire or someone's having a heart attack.
Mhm.
You know what side of the house to meet on. But speaking specifically of sliding glass doors, take that broomstick out and put in PVC pipe or even metal pipe. It's hollow, they can't get in.
Mm.
Next house.
Over to Donna for your question. Donna,
Judy, I'm sorry, that was exactly what I wanted to know is PVC pipe. So I don't put it in the window, but just in the sliding glass door.
You can put them in your window as long as you know if there's a fire, you need to pull that out to get out. Sliding glass doors, your PVC pipe or metal is best, not the wood broomstick in your sliding glass door.
okay.
Well,
see-
this was amazing to hear all these things, because I think of all the things I'm guilty of. And you're right, Judy, I will have to go back through step one and begin all of this.
Remember, you have
It's a
homework.
whole lot.
Yeah,
It's really a whole lot. Thank you very much.
and those who would like to make comments or questions, use the chat or the reactions button. So it puts your picture or your name right at the top of our list so we see who it is, because there's too many to see on here. So Dale, unmute and you can share.
Yeah, I just want to know if she knows about some of the programs that are on some smartphones that you can program it so that if you press the power button 3 times rapidly, you actually can send an alert message directly and also start videotaping your perpetrator.
I do not know about those. I'm writing this down so that I can, again, call 911 and start with telling them where you're at, not what's happening. Until later.
Mhm.
But
You're
start.
you're on, Kurt.
Unmute.
Got to hit the right button. I just want to say, I think both of the presentations today were absolutely excellent. And in the last couple of minutes, I took and sent an email off to our program chair, well, if there is one, saying we ought to be showing these at some of our general meetings. And I think other clubs might do well to do the same thing.
They are. Way back in the day with our VTCs, groups would, the presenter didn't come. They always had 2 or 3 VTCs that they had on tap that they could throw up instantly. But many groups use these presentations for their general meetings. There's 2 to a video. They just key it up if it happens to be the second presentation and off they go. Over to Dick. Who needs to unmute himself. Okay, let's try Lori again.
Oh,
Hello.
okay, I'm unmuted now, Judy.
Okay, thanks.
I'm an active target shooter, and I keep a very good used target by my patio door.
Very good. I like it.
Go out to your local shooting range and pick one up.
There you go. Thank you.
Over to Lori.
Hello, I just wanted to know what the name of that TV thing was. That's a great idea.
It's called Fake TV. Go to faketv.com.
Amazing, thank you.
You're welcome. It's on my handout.
Any other Kim questions?
Yep, I gotta come back, gotta come back. We
And
still
I
haven't
still-
said.
And I still keep getting, she's got to come back, so.
We can't leave because we're all asking what's wrong with the wooden handle instead of the metal or PCV pipe? What's wrong with the wooden broomstick?
Well, the tool that they're using to get in, they poke through the rain gasket and they put it right up next to that wood and they turn it and it will drill itself into that wood. Then they use it to pop that wood out.
Okay.
Even if you have other things that you think work, they can still get in.
Mhm.
Carry a couple of other things we'll talk about later, but trust me, take the broomstick out and put in PVC or metal pipe.
Okay, good one. Comment was made about the handouts, and remember, we only send out the follow-ups and handouts to those people who have signed in correctly to the workshop. If we can match up this name with an email address and the registration, you get it. If we have to try to figure out who in the world are you because Zoom name doesn't match the registered name, you're not going to get it. So one last chance to make sure that what we see on the list here is the right name for you, and you will get it. Now, today, not tomorrow, give Judy a break. We've got some work to do because there's a lot of questions I think that Mark still has to answer. Anybody else? Boy, brain going woo-wee.
I will be sending out Kim's handout today, since you're all so excited about it.
Okay, I'll let her do that, but don't ask her about the video.
Any
Kim,
other?
I'll say anything else from Kim or from Mark?
Well, we have time for some more Mark questions if people are hanging around. Kim, I thank you so very much for doing this. I really appreciate it. If you would send me your PowerPoint presentation, I can include that as a backup in one of the handouts.
Okay, I'll figure it out. I'll get my 5th grader to show me how.
She will know. All she needs to do is you bring it up and save it, and she'll attach it to an email to me.
May
And
I
she'll
interrupt,
know
Joe?
exactly how to do that.
I have a question for Kim.
Yes.
Yeah, I need to know what the AAA cardia is.
It's called a
spell that?
carabiner.
How do you spell that?
C-A-R-A-B, like boy, I-N-E-R, and AAA has the best one.
Carabiner.
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 Oh,
Okay.
Bernice, I'll send you the information, Bernice.
Oh, okay.
And it's in my handout as well as the PowerPoint.
Also, I need a list of everything I should carry.
It's on my handout.
Okay.
Trust us, it's in her handout. You'll love it.
It's in my handout. I give you my word.
You were very good.
Can I end with?
I really liked it.
Back over to Kurt, who has a question.
I don't have a question, I have a comment. It's been a long time since I was a 5th grader, but if Kim would like some instruction on screen sharing in Zoom, just give me a holler.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kurt.
I was wondering about that too. So get in touch with me too, since we've been in such communication now.
Just remember, I can clean your shotgun and put it back together, but I don't know how to do this, Kurt.
Gee, I can do that too. But anyway, no more questions for Kim and she can get back to work.
Can I end with a joke, please?
Please.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Okay, so the funny stuff is the true stuff. So I'm walking into a senior center and I'm getting ready to do a SALT council meeting, and I look over and these guys are playing dominoes, and this one guy he's not playing very well, and one of his friends says, "Wait a minute, is that a wedding ring?" And he goes, "Yeah, I married her." And he goes, "The same guy you were dating, like you started dating her like 2 weeks ago?" And he goes, "Yeah, I married her." And one of his buddies goes, "Well, she must be a looker. She pretty woman." He goes, "Yeah, she's okay." The other guy goes, "Well, man, I bet she's got a bunch of money in a bass boat, huh?" And he goes, "No, she kind of came with, her own set of, bills." And so the next guy goes, "Well, so I bet she's a good cook, huh?" And he goes, "No, we pretty much eat out all the time." And so finally, this woman walks up to him and she goes, "Why did you marry her?" And he goes, "She drives at night."